Coming up on Around San Diego, we're learning new information about a Carlsbad man who allegedly planned a coordinated attack with the recent Madison school shooter. And the San Diego Unified School Board is strengthening policies that protect students from immigration and customs enforcement. Plus, a major retailer is causing major headaches with its questionable return policy. Around San Diego starts now. Hello and very happy holidays to you. Thank you so much for joining us as we take you around San Diego. I'm CBS 8's Jenny Day. I'll get you caught up on a week's worth of news and look ahead in less than 30 minutes. We begin with that deadly school shooting in Madison, Wisconsin that authorities say may also have ties to a man in Carlsbad. CBS 8 has confirmed a 20-year-old who went to Carlsbad High School is accused of plotting to attack a government building here. CBS 8's David Godfredson has the latest on the alleged connection.
This is a 2020 yearbook photo of Alexander Pfaffendorf, available at the Carlsbad Public Library, taken when he was attending Carlsbad High School. He is now age 20 and the target of an FBI investigation, linking him to a 15-year-old girl who carried out a mass shooting on Monday at a school in Wisconsin, killing two before turning the gun on herself. Pfaffendorf is no longer attending high school here. Even so, Carlsbad Unified School District sent out an email to staff this week saying, in part, the Carlsbad Police Department has increased its presence around our schools. In this gun violence emergency protective order, Carlsbad police allege Pfaffendorf was messaging with the Wisconsin school shooter, and that he told her he would arm himself with explosives and a gun and that he would target a government building. On Tuesday night, Carlsbad police served the gun violence restraining order on Pfaffendorf at this condo on Altiva Place, where the 20-year-old lives with his parents, according to neighbors who said officers were seen carrying a gun box out of the garage.
In this case, it seems like removing the guns was warranted as a civil action to make sure to prevent a tragedy.
Ron Marcus is with San Diegans for Gun Violence Prevention, a nonprofit that supports red flag laws allowing guns to be seized by law enforcement if there is a risk to the public.
With the FBI doing its investigation and seeing the link between this individual and the shooter in Wisconsin and the proximity and time between, these events going on, it seemed like there was a threat of imminent danger.
It remains unclear whether Pfaffendorf was arrested. He has not been charged with a crime and he is not listed on any local jail logs. The FBI will only say the case is an ongoing investigation. David Godfredson, CBS 8.
And a court hearing on the emergency gun violence protective order is set for January 3rd. We reached out to Pfaffendorf and his family members, but have not yet heard back. Well, a homeless encampment known as the Jungle along Escondido Creek was cleared this week, displacing dozens of people. By a unanimous vote, city leaders declared a local emergency due to unsafe levels of bacteria in that creek, believed to have been caused by human waste and trash. Police contacted 52 people living there, and 36 said that they would accept resources, but only 5 people actually accepted beds. According to the executive director of Interfaith Community Services, Escondido only has 15 shelter beds.
Escondido needs to start directing more of its efforts to finding additional shelter space, and that is my commitment to you all and to the community.
The city plans to clear all the debris in the jungle that they say could take about at least a week. Then they plan to put up a fence to prevent future encampments. And the California Water Resources Control Board just installed a new device aimed at stopping trash from flowing across the border and polluting San Diego's water. It's known as a trash boom. It's a 450-foot-long chain of about 150 individual plastic sections. That boom is designed to float to the surface of the Tijuana River and stop trash from flowing through and potentially reaching San Diego beaches.
Our focus has been properly on sewage, Trash has always been a key issue, and also one of the most attainable issues we could address. And this trash boom is a major step forward now in our 16-year effort to address these constituents of concern.
Yeah, the state legislature approved nearly $5 million in funding for this pilot project. They will reevaluate it in 2 years to see if it's a viable, permanent solution. Well, now to the Capitol. Governor Gavin Newsom is pushing to spend $100 million on a new education and job growth plan. This comes after he removed college degree requirements for nearly 30,000 state jobs. Newsom's new plan creates a career passport. That's a digital profile you can use to show skills and experience to employers even without a college degree.
Nothing like this that we're aware of in the country exists. This level of detailed economic and workforce development, bottom up, not top down, funded in real time, with the practical application taking shape at the same time that we rev up the programs and strategies.
Yeah, so Newsom's plan will also give college credit to veterans and other workers with relevant job experience. This is all part of a new list of requests for the upcoming state budget. The governor's office will release their full budget proposal next month. Well, there are proposed state bills on the table aiming to protect immigrant families. This comes as President-elect Donald Trump has pushed for mass deportations. SB 48 would prohibit school districts, county offices, or education or charter schools from allowing ICE agents to enter a school campus without a judicial warrant. It would also prohibit the release of information. AB 49 aims to protect immigrant children from ICE in schools and child care centers.
This is a bill that basically is attempting to balance the importance of education against access to information. It seeks to go further than existing law by actually prohibiting ICE from coming onto campus in the first place, and then, of course, prohibiting information sharing.
Yeah, so the California Department of Education says 93% of children who have one or more undocumented parents are U.S. citizens. And the San Diego Unified School Board is looking into those same protections. According to district data, nearly 6,000 migrant students arrived in the U.S. in the last 3 years and now attend our local schools. The district is in support of not assisting ICE and not allowing access to district facilities, again, without a warrant.
DACA students, our Muslim, Arab, Palestinian students, LGBTQIA. There are a number of different campaign promises that would very negatively impact their lives.
The district also launched a new website for families to access resources and report harassment or discrimination. Well, police are asking for your help identifying a man who sexually assaulted a girl at a trolley stop. Police say it happened on December 4th, just before 4 p.m. at the City College trolley stop there on 11th Avenue. They say the man ran down the platform to get the girl and dragged his hand and arm across her chest. Call police or Crime Stoppers if you know anything. Well, now to something caught on camera. Surveillance video shows a man putting fake parking tickets on cars in University Heights. This happened on Park Avenue Friday night. Watch as a man writes down the vehicle's license plate number and then appears to leave a ticket on the front windshield. The price tag, $452, well above the average $50 ticket. This ticket claims drivers can avoid that massive fee by donating to these listed organizations within 48 hours. The car's driver actually did pay up and now wants to know who is making these fake tickets.
I went on the website, I donated a couple dollars to one of these foundations, which I don't want back. You know, I appreciate the police here in San Diego, so I don't need the refund on that.
Yeah, so this happened right outside of the San Diego Buddhist Association temple. Their address is on the ticket, but they say they are not associated with it at all. The temple tells us they are now better monitoring their surveillance footage. San Diego police say they will never ask for a monetary donation in lieu of a parking citation. Well, we now know the name of the man who was mauled to death by his 3 dogs last week in Mira Mesa. The medical examiner has identified him as 26-year-old Pedro Ortega. Ortega was walking the unleashed XL bully dogs with his 4-year-old son at Mesa Viking Park when they attacked him. A bystander was hurt trying to stop it all. Ortega died at a hospital and his son thankfully was not hurt. Humane Society law enforcement says they still don't know what happened.
Footage of the owner walking to the park with the dogs. As of now, we have not located footage to show what exactly happened.
Yeah, so video from a Ring doorbell camera at a nearby home shows one of the dogs covered in blood, though. All 3 were captured by Humane Society police and have been euthanized. Well, a new lawsuit against San Diego State University claims they wrongfully terminated an employee over her religion. Claudia Hernandez worked as a custodian and was fired last December. After turmoil with coworkers, she performed a Santeria ritual meant to promote good fortune. It required her to bring dead baby chickens to campus. She left them to be collected with the trash. The chickens were found and sparked an investigation, ultimately leading to her termination.
Termination was because of her bringing the baby chickens to work, and that is a religious practice that is sincerely held to her.
SDSU sent us a statement saying the university is inclusive of all religions, but no one is allowed to dispose of dead animals on campus. Well, CBS 8 is working for you, and after customers complained about a popular store denying most returns, they say Saxs 5th Avenue is refusing to return items or issue refunds, and it's going viral. San Diegan Lisa Fisher tried to return some boots because she says they didn't fit, but Saxs accused them of being worn and damaged.
I think it's pretty obvious because you take a picture of the soles, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, yes. The price tag is still on them, so it's obvious they haven't been worn.
CBS emailed Saxs about Lisa's boots, and the company then sent her a return label. A company spokesperson tells CBS 8 it's taking additional steps to combat return fraud, including taking more time for inspections. They say less than 1% of returns are incorrectly rejected, but they are working to improve that. Coming up, we'll hear from San Diego Unified's interim superintendent. More on the positive changes she says the district is seeing. Well, more than 2 years after it was closed for safety concerns, Chula Vista's Harborside Park is back open. City leaders held a reopening ceremony to show off those new improvements. There's now better lighting and security, a permanent fence, and new play areas. There's also a new soccer mini pitch, which honors pro soccer player and Chula Vista native Paul Areola.
If I had a mini pitch back when I was young, I think I'd be a better athlete than I am today. And, I hope that I can, help the future of the sport, of the kids of Chula Vista, and, just really impact the community in the way that I've always dreamed to.
Good stuff. Harborside Park's improvements were made possible through a collaborative effort with Target, Areola there, and the U.S. Soccer Federation. Well, San Diego Unified's interim superintendent is 3 months now into her new role and already seeing some positive changes. Fabiola Bagula was named interim superintendent in September after Lamont Jackson was fired over sexual harassment claims. Since then, she says that she's made it easier for school leaders to access information about students to better assist them. Bagula is also busy tackling a multi-million-dollar budget deficit for next school year. She told CBS 8 that she's hoping to bring the deficit down in March, in part by offering early retirement.
There be layoffs?
We're seeking not to. That is actually one of the reasons why we're offering our SERP, or our early retirement incentive. We're hoping that we can honor our veteran teachers with a beautiful way of exiting the profession and honoring them while not having to lay off anyone. That is my biggest hope.
Yeah, so if you're interested in hearing more from the superintendent, just head to CBS8.com and click on the online version of this story. Still ahead, while the holidays are a time to be merry and bright, it's also when food waste skyrockets nationwide. We'll share ways to help you reduce that waste in an Earth 8 report next. Well, most holiday celebrations are centered around food, which could lead to waste. So in this Earth 8 report, CBS 8's Sean Stiles shares some ways to cut down on food waste and save some money.
Over the holiday season, food waste goes up nearly 25% nationwide and eventually ends up here at places like the Miramar landfill. But to avoid that, I've got some great tips that will actually prevent that from happening, as well as saving you money. According to the USDA, the average family of 4 will throw away $1,500 of food annually. And over the holidays, that waste goes way up. So what do? Well, to start, don't let your eyes be bigger than your stomach when you're preparing a meal. It also matters how you shop for your food. A great tool I found is the Guest-O-Mator. It helps you pick the right quantity of groceries for the number of guests you're entertaining. Get it? Guest-O-Mator? It can be found at SaveTheFood.com and even lets you plan for leftovers. Storage of the food after the meal's over can really make a difference and prevent those food waste ending up in the trash bin. One of the things that really is the biggest detriment to leftovers is oxygen. So using airtight containers is really the best way to go, and try to get them so they fill the container completely. You can also reimagine those leftovers. Beef stew, shepherd's pie, potato pancakes, you get the idea. And if you've had enough of a good thing, throw them in the freezer to hold those holiday favorites over until you like them again. Food waste also comes from the scraps while you're preparing those family meals in between those large gatherings. Inevitably, there's going to be leftovers that go bad and or stuff that you're peeling. And these, they're not very popular, but they do make a huge difference at the landfill. So if you can try to use it over the holidays, you'll make a big difference. Use your peelings and all those things and put it in there. And if you have leftovers that start to go bad, put them in the freezer and bring them out on trash day. And this is where that ends up, at the greenery at the Miramar landfill. What happens over the holidays for you guys?
We do see an increase in food scraps.
Julie Sands is the recycling manager for the city of San Diego. She says those food scraps are ground up with other organics and turned into mulch, which go back into the earth as nutrients, instead of ending up in the landfill.
They will sit there. Nothing will happen. There's no processing except they will be creating methane, which is a greenhouse gas, and it's only helping to increase the heat of our planet.
So if after doing all of these tips you still find yourself with food waste, at least make sure they end up in the green bin. When it comes to putting this stuff in the green bin, I like to do it just the day before, or also because you have that stuff frozen, you're going to put it in here so it doesn't rot. Get it in there and get the lid closed. And by the way, if you want to recycle your Christmas tree, this is another location. Just get rid of any unorganic material off the tree, ornaments, the base and all that. Cut it up to fit in here, and you don't have to take it to a drop-off location. Sean Stiles, Earth 8.
Good stuff as always. Thank you, Sean. We really all do have to do our part. So that will do it for us. Thank you for your time. Thanks for staying informed. Wishing you a very happy holidays. For CBS 8, I'm Jenny Day. Take good care.